Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're checking out CLOP, another one of those wild and crazy games from Foddy.net. If you remember, they did QWOP, QWOP, that's the pressy buttons on your keyboard running simulator, and then GURP, which is one that I actually covered on the show. That would be the pressy buttons on your keyboard mountain climbing simulator. From that developer comes CLOP, the press your buttons on your keyboard and run your horse simulator, and it's probably the most competent and hilarious of the grouping so far. The premise is, as you can see in front of us here, this hobbit-like fellow is telling us to climb over this hill because he hears there's a virgin on the far side, and the dialogue is quite hilarious, I have to say. I'm not going to try and read it in a fake British accent because it would just be stupid, but trust me, you can do it in your own head. You'll have a good time. Alright, let's clicketh mouse to begin, and we are presented with this situation here. K, H, J, and L are how we manipulate this horse, and the objective, as you can tell, is to try and make him walk in a way that will achieve victory by finding the virgin on the other side of the hill. I'm not sure exactly what this unicorn wants with it, her. But regardless, we're going anyway. So we're just going to try and use these buttons in a close a conjunction as we can come up with to traverse this landscape. And I have to warn you, this is not an entirely blind episode. I have actually once recorded this episode and it failed. Unfortunately, I had an issue with the audio. So this is take 2 on this one, which means that I unfortunately know a little bit better how to manipulate this horse, as you can tell. But rest assured, there will be absolutely ridiculous hijinks in this episode. They will happen. Oh no! There we go. So as you can tell, the horse is insta-dead when you flip over. So I want to show you some of the stupid things that I can, well, if I can anyway. I'm going to try and show you some of the stupid things that I figured out to do with this horse. And one of them you may not have actually seen. So there's your tripod stance, but there's one thing, and I have watched a few videos on this because it got quite popular for a while in the YouTube circuits. There's one thing, though, that none of those videos that I had seen actually had shown off, and I actually found it completely by accident, so I will definitely show you that in a moment. What I'm trying to do is actually, if I can flip the horse correctly, you can get him to stand up against the tree. Oh, man. That's not exactly what I meant to do, but that'll work as well. I think his unicorn horn is actually impaled in that branch, which might make things a little interesting considering I think I'm floating. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, there he goes. Oh man, falls down, complete ragdoll. Alright, I gotta get front 2. This is sort of reminding me like I'm playing Tory Bash or something. I'm trying to set up his limbs in the right angles so I can do this silly thing. You can also try and like break his neck, which is a little ridiculous. Not that I'm advocating breaking unicorns' necks, but you know, it's always fun to mess with these ragdolls. Come on, almost there. Almost there. Oh, it was almost there. I didn't get it. Oh. That almost was it. I'm trying to just get him to stand up against the tree. He'll do it so he's basically just floating face down, like 90 degrees up against, perpendicular against the grain. And I think I'm going to probably give up doing that pretty soon. I have to say, these games are always hilarious. And this is probably the funniest one, as I already said, but there we go. Run! Run, horse, run! I mean, the premise is well done. The physics to it seem quite well modeled. Run, horse! And it's pretty much probably the most addictive one. I mean, it seems like you have the most fair chance of actually getting somewhere, whereas in, like, QWOP, it seems almost impossible for a while. There we go. There's a good headstand. Oh, he didn't die right away, either. Thou art made of manure. That's not a very nice thing to say. One of the other tricks that I wanted to show off, if I can get him to do it again, is to walk on your back 2 legs. I actually made it about 4 solid steps that way, and it was a good time for everybody involved. Except for the horse. Oh, almost. That's the right idea. And when you fall down, the trick is you gotta flex your front 2 legs, and then you can bounce. Well, probably not like that. That's a good way, though, to step up against the tree. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Headstand. Brilliant. I love this horse. Oh, almost. Oh, there we go. Drunkard unicorn. There. I have to say, I mean, although I had some funny moments in the original video, I think this one's already going to be more funny. And, you know, I don't totally have any problem doing totally funny videos occasionally, but yeah, I know that's not really, like, the majority of why you guys are here, and I'm sure you've mostly all seen and played CLOP at this point. But as I said in one of my previous ones, sometimes I just want to document certain games, or just play them because I just find them engaging, amusing, so on and so forth. And that would be one of these, or this particular game. Alright. I also have to say, like, another game that I want to cover, and maybe one day I will, is Deathspank. I actually quite enjoyed that game. I only played the very first one, though. And I don't know, I got the second one, it seemed like it went downhill after the original. I was more into the fantasy vibe, and then once it started getting into, like, machine guns and stuff, that seemed weird to me. I would have preferred just more of the same. There we go. Walk, walk, walk! Oh, flip forward. I want to see somebody beat the whole game on their back 2 feet. I think it's possible. My goal here in this video is obviously not to beat this game. That would be, well, I don't think it would be impossible, but very, very unlikely. The furthest I made it, I think, is about a third of the way there. And that was after about 20 minutes of playing, so I don't think it's going to happen. Run! Run your face right into the ground. Or just go for it. Alright, let me show you that crazy thing that happened. Because as you can see, one of the nice things about playing as a 4-legged creature, you know, as opposed to a 2-legged creature like in QOP, is you actually have something to balance your weight distribution, meaning your back 2 legs. So if you choose to only run your forward 2 legs, your front 2 legs, you will just drag, and drag, and drag, and drag, and eventually you'll reach a point where something will change. There it is. Lame horse mode. The worst mode ever. But I was totally surprised to even see this here. I guess this is just something that the developer saw people doing and said, hey, this is going to be funny. Let's throw this lame horse mode in. So I can no longer use my back 2 legs, as you can probably imagine. You can just see them dragging behind me in sort of a sad display. Not sure where we're going with this. Eventually I'm going to try and flip myself back over, because you can obviously not win the game. And I've seen people do this before. The ending is not, you know, anything worth writing home about. It's pretty silly, but, you know, such is the nature of this game. I think I've now created a problem for myself. Basically what happens at the end, and I'm not spoiling anything, you can go and see these videos everywhere yourself. And, you know, in case you're really good at it, there's actually a point where you have to leap a ravine. And most of the time, the goal after leaping that ravine is just to try and fall down the hill in such a manner as you cross, like, the finish line. There we go. Cross the finish line without landing directly on your back. Because, as you can see, like, that's the only way to lose this game, is just by landing on your back. Alright, I should try and do a couple of fair attempts here. It's harder than you would expect. The horse tends to bounce like a rubber band. As you can see, his torso, his midsection, which I have to say, like, the physics and everything seem pretty good for the most part. Like, better than I expected them to be for a goofy kind of Flash game, although this, I think this is Flixel, which is like I almost want to say it's like a Flash derivative, like a preset engine kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure how it all works. I tried downloading it one time. I had no idea what I was doing with it. But, yeah, if you notice, like, if you stand still for a while, I think I'm just gonna have to die real quick to show you, but, or maybe not. Yeah, look at, like, it, just like a real horse, he's all twitchy, and I don't know why his horn needs to twitch all around, but, you know, his body, his muscles, and all that keep flexing. So good attention to detail. I mean, these kind of reviews, I don't talk generally about the graphics, like, or the sound or anything like that. Generally, it's not a big deal. This is just for the gameplay. And this is not really an exception. I mean, the sound is just essentially, you know, clopping, as you can hear, as they do in the Foley industry. Basically, somebody with a couple coconut shells smacking it into a table, probably. But that's how it goes. I've seen people do it. It's pretty wild. Foley artists are talented people, I have to say. Alright, let's go. Oh, there we go. So if you do it just well enough, and you achieve a certain level of momentum, you do achieve some sort of music. Oh, that leg just looked terrible. There we go. You hear it for a second. And then I screw up, and then stop running quickly, and immediately goes away. Run! Ah, I ran myself too far. Yeah, it's really tricky once you start going up a hill. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to balance that. Alright, well, I'm not sure what else there is to say about this one aside from go play it yourself. It's free, it's a browser game. It's quite entertaining, it's quite hilarious. Definitely a game to play if you have some friends over and you want to mess around and show them something they'll probably get a good laugh or two out of. I don't think I'm going to get any further really than that, so I'll leave it at this. CLOP, pretty hilarious. Nothing, you know, wild or astounding or, you know, worth paying tons of money for, and obviously you're not paying any money for this as a free browser game, but I do recommend it. Definitely fun. Link's going to be right in the description, as always. Give it a click, see what you can do with it. Maybe you can get your horse down to the end of this ridiculous maze, or not so much maze, but group of hills and ravines and rocks, and reach that virgin at the end and see the wild and crazy ending. It's not really that crazy, but you get what I'm trying to say. That's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, remember to head on over to the website, www.indie-impressions.com. Feel free to check out all the old and new videos, browse them by Steam, Desera, Greenlight, free, all kinds of different things. You can even search them by genres. There's a whole tag checker thing, and you can click on and see what kind of stuff you're into. And also, feel free to check out the forums. They've been a little bit slow lately, but I would much appreciate if you guys wanted to browse through there and leave a comment on something. Maybe get a discussion going again. I anticipate someday the forums will become a big attraction again, but, you know, right now we're in a transitional phase. Things are going to pick up, don't worry. But when you're done with the website, head on over to facebook.com/indieimpressions. If you'd like to, leave a like on that page, and then every day's new Indie Impression video will be aggregated right into your Facebook feed. Makes it nice and convenient. That way I come to you instead of you coming to me. If that's what you want to do, that's totally fine. I like to leave all these different avenues for distribution. That way I can sort of work with whatever your particular, you know, methods are, whatever you like in your world of, you know, mobile YouTube viewing and all that such thing. Those things sort of make sense for me. So beyond the Facebook page, there is also at RockLeeSmile on Twitter, and if you feel like sending me a message, if you want to chat about whatever is going on in your indie world, feel free to hit me up right over there. Or if you're an indie game developer and you want to send me your game for a review or a look on the show, potentially, that is one way to start up a conversation. I also have a contact form right on the website, so feel free to grab that as well. So that's going to pretty much do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you come back again for another one tomorrow. We do a new video every day. That's another awesome indie game every single day. So make sure you come back, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely night, and I hope your horse does not go lame. Later, guys.